We are back on Taking Care of Business on Current Radio News Talk, 1180, 1230 KGEO, 1410 KERI, and now in Albuquerque, New Mexico on 1000 KKIM. Our next guest is the co-founder of the USA Association and the publisher of On the Money, Bill Glynn, who just wrote a great article entitled, "It's About the Midterm Election, Stupid." I love that title. Bill, welcome to Taking Care of Business.
Yeah, thank you so much. Looking forward to it.
Hey, tell us a little bit about USA Association and On the Money.
Well, you'll love this, since Bakersfield is the country music capital of California, if I'm right.
Yes, we are. Boy, you did your homework.
Good. Well, what we did was we looked at the liberal progressive agenda that has been implemented in the United States that has already changed our social fabric.
Amen.
From a godly capitalist nation to a more socialistic-leaning nation of dependency. They did that through media control. They gave the ignorant, uneducated voting population their brand and their opinion, and really they made the president into a rock star and liberalism cool. So what we did was say, hey, wait a minute. We used to, buy music companies, and we're very connected in the Christian and country space. So we created Take Back the USA, which is the USA Association. And basically, we're bringing to bear our media influence. And if Russell Simmons can, rock the vote, then, like I said, we can rock the vote, right? We can really make some noise. We have got to be able to compete with their fashionable Vogue platform, or we'll keep on losing.
Yep, no question
That's
about it.
That's what we're doing.
Now, Bill, no question about that. I totally agree. Something I noticed on your website, and give people your website. I thought it was a great website, by the way.
Yeah, it's there's mine, but really TakeBackTheUSA.com will bring you to our current site. But within 2 weeks, you'll see all of our country and Christian music artists spattered across the front there. People will love it.
Okay, good. One of the comments I noticed on your other website, the BillyG.net site.
Yes.
If America was a company, the board of directors and the management team would all be fired, and many of them would end up in jail for the way it's been run. I totally agree with that, but expand on that statement, would you?
Yeah. So if you look at some of these, let's just call them Ponzi schemes. If anyone out there doesn't think Social Security is a Ponzi scheme, they're crazy. Rick Perry was right. I mean, ultimately, if you have a company and your profit and loss statement is showing you're losing $2 trillion a year, and you are literally irresponsibly borrowing money, going on this $72 million boondoggle to Martha's Vineyard, doing these things that we all know are fiscally not just irresponsible, they're wrong. And they really will bring down the country because we can't pay back $17 trillion of debt. With that way of operating, and oh, by the way, while you're losing all that money, let's double up and double down on people's health care and create another social welfare system called HealthCaid, not Obamacare. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
These people, they'd be fighting the board of directors. I mean, people would come after them, they'd lynch them, and they'd throw them in jail for the way this place has been run.
Oh, yeah, no question about it. Now, my partner, Bill, I'm actually an insurance agent on top of doing this, and my partner who's asleep, it's midday, so he's, a little bit. But anyway, so Clay does nothing but health care, so that's an issue for him that is driving him nuts. But this article that I wanted to talk to you about a little bit, it's about the midterm election, stupid. Your first sentence in this article I love. The greatest show on earth is a comedy. You and I know it, and the rest of the world just laughs and laughs at us. We are all the stars in it, a bunch of clowns. I love that statement. and I want to tell you a story before we talk about the article, okay? I'm originally from Toronto. It's my hometown. And I was back in Canada last week, and I have a half-brother who's extremely liberal, so he and I go at it quite a bit. So he brought up the Zimmerman thing, which I've avoided like the plague. And I said, well, what's the take up there in Canada? He said, well, they're looking at it two ways. The first thing they're doing is talking about all the crime that's going on, the black-on-black crime in the inner city that nobody talks about in the United States. And the second thing they're talking about is why is the media so entrenched with just this one case? And I said, well, wow, that's an interesting perspective for liberal media in another country to look at. So they're laughing at us because they know what it's all about, and yet the people here in the United States aren't catching on.
Oh, listen. First of all, let's get this straight. This is a Latino black issue.
Exactly.
The president of the United States of the Democratic Party has come out, along with the Justice Department, which are all Democrats, and they're claiming this race baiting and somehow civil rights issue. Guess what? You're attacking a Latino, right? This is a Latino's rights that are being put on the table by the Democrats. Hey, Republicans, it's a Latino, stupid. Guess what?
Yep.
I mean, this isn't about white and black. They're attacking a Latino.
And the Republican Party should be jumping all over that.
Thank you.
We're having a conversation with Bill Glynn, author of It's About the Midterm Elections, Stupid. Go ahead, Bill.
Well, the thing is, I know a lot of people around the world. I've got companies all over. And the fact is, they truly look at the charade, the shenanigans, the mudslinging, the lying, the political chaos, the absolute, ridiculousness. They're like, hey, aren't your people called lawmakers? But 99% of what we've ever seen is how to spend money, right? I mean, they're not making laws, are they? Very few. They're always talking about budget and spending money, and they laugh at us saying, you're broke already. And I say, I know, we're like Oliver Twist, up there with a little bowl. Please, sir, China, can I have more money? What we're laughing. They giggled and they heckled Timothy Geithner when he went over to China and said, don't worry about the debt. It's backed by the full faith of the U.S. government.
Oh, that's right.
They laughed at him.
Yeah, they laughed him off the stage. Yeah.
That's horrid.
Yeah. You made another interesting comment that I totally agree with in the article. You said that the Democrats never get out of campaign mode, and that was real obvious this past week with Obama talking in, I think it was Nashville, wasn't it, where he gave that little interesting speech?
Chattanooga, yeah.
Chattanooga, yeah.
Yep.
So they're never out of campaign mode. Why?
No, here's the thing, that they understand what they've done is created a platform that is very vogue, chic, cool, rock starish. And the fact is that they know also that the Republican Party, more people are dying literally in the Republican Party than youth and others coming into it. So it's unsustainable, and they know that. But just to put the nail in the coffin, they are using the media, these road shows, to sell their policies and plans strictly because they're in consistent media blitz campaign mode power. It's all about power. Now, if they can get Congress, right, the midterm election, if they can get that, what do you think the social agenda that will be jammed down our throat will look like? Because they have 2 years then to engineer and really solidify the largest social transformation in human history.
That's a remarkable statement, and I totally agree with it, because they have made, and especially if you're looking at healthcare, because you're looking at 22% of the economy. I mean, if they can complete that, and they basically have, then you're looking at a total transformation of this society.
And the thing that people don't realize, unfortunately, is the United States of America is already bankrupt. The shockwave just hasn't hit us yet. The social fabric of America has already changed by very intelligent, hugely powerful, well-funded organizations and people. These people are really brilliant. I mean, imagine on an empire scale to step in and for 60 years boil us like a frog and turn around one day and you wake up and say, oh my gosh, we are morally, spiritually, politically, financially bankrupt. And you did it, right? Under our noses, under our watch. This happened to us. And, now we wake up to the fact, and the conservative movement can't get people to follow it, right? We can't, it's just, I don't think people understand, and I believe this, and that's why we're using country and Christian music to educate, right? Edutainment, to educate the people, to bring more people into the tent, because I believe that ignorance can be corrected, but stupidity cannot.
No question about it. Bill, when we come back from the break, I want to talk about another article you wrote recently as well, okay?
Yes.
We'll be back in a moment on Taking Care of Business on Kern Radio, News Talk 1180.